Hello, beautiful people. Welcome once more to METE on Town Meeting TV here in our community in Burlington, a beautiful city which we call the Green Mountains in Vermont, USA. We are glad to come your way today as well, and we have a topic which is very important for us all. And we want to learn about how we can break away from the fear of the unknown. And usually, I have with me Dr. Sefakor. And we want to discuss about breaking away from the fear of tomorrow. Dr. Sefakor happens to have rich knowledge in all these areas because she's an advocate who stands tall when it comes to the matters of disability. She's on the international front. She speaks for marginalized groups, and not only that, presently she happens to find herself in the University of Vermont. She has so much experience, in fact, and we want to have her to speak on this topic. Dr. Sefakor, welcome.
Thank you so much.
How are you?
Good.
And how is your job here?
Oh, I'm enjoying it.
Wow.
It's fun. I'm learning at the same time also making progress.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Great. So we want to go straight to the point. Is there any fear of the unknown with persons with disability?
Yes. Not with persons with disabilities because we know what it is already.
Oh, okay.
Yes. There is the fear of the unknown of the general public.
Okay.
So when we say we are breaking away from that, it's like we want to empower you.
Okay.
So that when you have any type of disability or when tomorrow you are told that you have this type of disease or genetic issue, you will not crash. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there is the fear of the unknown for everybody.
Sure, because in my study into that area relating with persons with disability, I tend to realize that it kind of have bearings rather on the immediate families, their friends, and people around them. Just like a mother bonds so much with a child, maybe with disability, and then she realizes he's growing or she's growing, and what is his or her life going to be like when I'm no more, when I have to do that, when I have to provide for them, when I have to. So it's kind of tense, and it's rather affects so much the families and then the general population that are with persons with disability. Okay, so what are the processes of breaking away? Let's go. This is a straightforward topic. What then are the processes of breaking away? What do we do to break away?
So there are so many steps we take in this journey. When I'm working with people, first of all, is there any fear? What type of fear do you have?
Identifying the kind of fear.
Acknowledging the type of fear that you have for people with disabilities. How does it frighten you to be a person with disability? In fact, when I take it from the humanity piece that, well, the dyslexia that you have or the migraine that you have, which is medical, is called disability. It's a fear for people. People will be like, oh no, I'm just not feeling well. Or, oh no, this is not disability. Or the epilepsy that you have or seizure, right? People will deny it immediately. No, I don't want you to call that name again. I just have sickness, right? But if you acknowledge it, so first is to acknowledge that, well, this is a new process in my journey as a human being. This is called, you name it, this is called disability. This is how it is in my life, or this is how it manifests in my life. When you have that understanding of what it is and you acknowledge it, it helps to accept. So first acknowledge, the fear that you have a fear that, oh, I will be part of this group of people. In fact, people think that we are the small group of people, but we are the majority, the bigger majority group. We talk about this some time ago, that when you put disability in the middle, it becomes the pivot that everybody is revolving around. Whether you are black, white, rich, poor, tall, short, whatever category you find yourself, everybody is pulled to that magnet called disability.
Okay.
So that is why you have to acknowledge that you are part of that bigger group. So if the person acknowledges that, the next step is to accept the uncertainties. Okay? There is so much uncertainty in the journey of any human being. Yeah. So if it is a pregnancy that you have, that you are told that that child has Down syndrome,
yeah,
the moment you accept it, the next thing is, what are the uncertainties around this? And then as much as you accept, in fact, the acceptance stage is
the critical
biggest,
one.
yeah, it's the biggest one.
Okay.
And from that angle, I would say that the next step that we go to most of the time is to practice what we call mindfulness, or practice your roots of belief system. Practice what you are holding on to strongly, especially to make sure that you are not dwindling. Because you are moving from a place to place, like one stage of, I am able, hello, nothing about disability is around me, and then bam.
It does happen.
Yeah, you move from that angle that, okay, now I'm kind of having this, I'm finding myself among this small group in quotes, right? Then the next thing is, what is holding you? What is your root here? Because you might be dwindling if you don't know how you are embracing this, how you are accepting it.
Okay.
Because you can tell, it happens to some people, especially the invisible disability people. Like when they have invisible disability, people doubt them. When they tell their friends that, I have this thing happening, or I have this genetic, they will be like, oh, you don't seem, or you don't look like people with disability. That is a denial from the community.
Okay.
You know what is going through you in your body. You know how you are suffering. You know how when you sleep, the trauma you are having, don't forget disability, trauma is part of disability, right? You know what it entails to go through those pain yourself in your body. What is your body telling you? So that is why you have to hold on to a place of what? Spirituality. That is very huge in the life of a person with disability. You have to have some grounding.
So that's mindfulness.
Yes, that grounding tells you where you belong. That grounding holds you firm, so that when somebody pushes you that you don't belong to this group, you can still stand firm and say, I know why I'm here. And say, I know I belong to this group. Because at times, these people with disabilities can also be very much clear that I don't know what brings you to our group today. Because at times we see some people as what? They are not allies, they are enemies. Because at times how people behave outside, then tomorrow you see them among you. You are like,
you're surprised.
Exactly. Because I'm talking this about a typical example about somebody denying that I cannot have this type of disability. Then the following day or some months pass, you find yourself coming to that group that I just came to your meeting, right? So you need to have some grounding. What I'm talking about is just having that type of grounding that cannot push you anyhow. I remember the last time we talked, I was talking about the concept of tomato. Tomato, is it a fruit or vegetable?
It's a vegetable.
You see, because you are an African. When you ask an American right now, it's a tomato.
It's a fruit.
They will tell you it's a fruit.
Sure.
That is a problem that happens to people who don't have grounding. who don't know where they belong to in terms of spirituality. Because today you will say you have this, you are tomato, tomorrow you say you have this. Like if you have the tomato syndrome, you'll be dwindling. You don't know where exactly you belong in terms of identity. So in that, if you accept who you are, or that fear of that type of disability, you accept it, it becomes part of your identity. Because for us, disability is part of our identity. And that is one major thing that we cannot deny ourselves that we don't have it. So when you come to that self-realization that you have a disability, you have to practice that mindfulness very, very, very deeply, so that you are not dwindling, so that tomorrow you cannot be a fruit, and tomorrow you change to be what?
So
a vegetable.
I think reading through, I realized people adopt to yoga, some adopt to meditations, some adopt to reading through their, it's like faith-based
belief systems.
That helps them and then empower them, resonates around their mind to let them know that they are able to carry on.
Exactly, because having that type of news, that in quote fear already being shared with you, maybe by your medical practitioner or by your family or whoever it is, telling you that you have this, especially when it is invisible, because most of the time it breaks people down, because they don't want to believe that they have this, which is a process they have to go through. So spirituality comes in very strongly for every single person, not only for people with disabilities, but it just becomes a double agony for people who do not have disability. They feel that this is something that they cannot contain. So that's why we encourage them that what is holding you firm when you didn't have disability, or when you didn't hear this, now get back to that. Get to your roots. Get grounded. Be firm, because you want to be a fruit or a vegetable. When you are done with that very well, we also encourage people to build support systems. You build support systems for yourself. This support system, most of the time, must come from your people who are very close to you. Can be your family members. Your family, for some people, it's horrible for them. As I was telling you about my friend who was exploited by the guardian. So when you mention the word family for that type of person, that is not anything good. But people that connect with you, understand your pain that you share.
Sometimes family is not only about blood. Or it's not about the people that are close. Anybody who I feel can get to you, make you feel good of the person you are.
Exactly.
It's family.
Exactly.
Your neighbor could be your family. Somebody far away somewhere could be your family.
Exactly. So when you are able to build that support system for yourself, you can have so many friends, but this is the time that the friends that can help you can understand that even as you are not able to do things that you used to do with them, you can still do those things while in this process, right? They have to come out with different ideas to support you. At that moment, you are not the one that to be working for them. They have to build around that support system around you, so for you to be able to be productive as you used to be. This is a fear that you might be a manager, for instance, before something hitting you around disability, and you want to just connect with your allies, the people who value you. That's why it is very good to have. So
here in Burlington, not to cut you short, is there any support group around that persons with disability can directly get in touch with, and then find this kind of, from psychological to physical empowerment, whatever they need? Is there something like that?
There are a lot of them.
Okay.
It depends upon the type of disability that you have. If you are having IDD, like intellectual development disability, there is a whole organization. If you are deaf, if you are blind, like we have the LEAP program, we have the deaf community. Like if you have any neurodivergent issue, they have groups. But one group, one organization which works with all of them,
The
across,
groups.
all the groups across the state, is Vermont Center for Independent Living.
Okay.
Because that is an office that it is not limited to only one group of disability. They work, so in that office, I worked there before, and that is a place that every type of disability, you enter our office, you see the blind working, you see the deaf, you see the mental health, everybody in that office. So that would be a place for me to recommend for anybody who is trying to connect with community of people with disabilities. Yeah. After building that support system, embrace potential failures.
Okay.
Yes, as a learning opportunity. Why am I saying this? Everybody fails.
Sure.
Everybody is weak. Everybody has somewhat strength. But the idea that people with disabilities are weak or they are not able to do certain things has been one part of all those myths that we talked about. And so it's so much devastating that when you are joining or when you are breaking through the fear of the unknown, you want to accept, you want to come down to that level of embracing potential failures, telling yourself that everybody fails. Otherwise, you are going to be crushing yourself because you will be thinking that it's because of your disability that you are not able to do so, and so. But it's part of humanity. If you understand that everybody fails, we are not superhumans. We are not like robots. Even robots, we put the energy in there. We tell them what to do. So that is a place that you have to come as a person to understand that, today I'm so tired. I am not able to do this and this and this. And that is okay. But at times people want us to be superhumans and do certain things, and so that they can put in the social media, so that they can shout to project that we have been super extraordinary. No, we are just human beings doing our normal activities. So when you join that club, when you join in you break through the fear, you want to accept or embrace potential failure so that you can live a normal life, so that you will not be exhausted. Again, after that, I would say that challenge negative energy, any negative thoughts around you, challenge them. Those are some of the things we tell people. Challenge them. And that is when I'm building the disability pride in people, I tell people that challenge people. Don't just be at the receptive end or be the one having that type of the support system always. Challenge people who take you for granted. Challenge people who say that they are idolizing you. Challenge people who are taking you to exploit, tokenize you. Challenge them because your disability shouldn't be the place that they should operate. Challenge those negative thoughts around you, because people can tell you that maybe because of you, or maybe because you are not able to do this, I want to do this, I want to give you this. No, they are limiting your scope.
But listening to you right now, and the previous point you made before, you have to challenge negative thoughts. You see, maybe sometimes people that sit back and then watch persons with disability realize that maybe they've done this thing over and over and over and over, and it's not helping. That is, they are maybe your medical officer will let you know that it's like you have the passion to do this, you have the passion to do that, but it's not good for you. Medically, it's something that is going to disturb you in the near future. Is that a negative comment? Is that because there are people too that have come out to say that we have challenged it and they have been able to leap over? There are people too that decided not to, and then they remained where they are. So how do I draw the thin line as a person living with disability? As a person with disability, how do I draw that thin line to move forward, to break away from the fear of tomorrow?
Thank you for that. I would say that comes from home again.
Okay.
I talked about the grounding, because if you know your value, your self-value, and you build that support system for yourself, and you have, surrounded yourself with positive people who know you, who cherish you. I have some friends that can just call me and just give me the vibes that I'm counting on you, right?
Wow.
I have some friends that I can call in the middle of my night and they will respond. They are not my age group. Some of them are my age. I don't know them. They are not my family, but those are the people that I have built around myself. They are my support system because they value me.
Okay.
So for you to get to that place and those are the friends that can tell me, oh, Sefakor, as for this one, you didn't do well. They can just give it to me behind the scene that, did you really say that? This is not good. And I have to accept because they have to give you those type of harsh but constructive feedback. Those are the friends that I'm talking about, not the friends that will manipulate you and project you as an idol and say they are helping you, but at the end of the day you see they are using you. And this system, as we are, it's very good at that. As Black, as a person with disability, as a woman, it's very easy to be exploited.
Wow.
Because everybody comes to your aid as if they are helping you.
They are pushing you.
Yeah. So when you are able to get away from negative thoughts and challenge the system, because before you even challenge, you must be powerful in your spirit. You must know what is
your inner person.
Exactly. As I continue to say, you cannot give to people what you don't have, right? So if somebody throws a garbage on you, for you to sit that person down and say, hey, do you know this is not like how you think about it, right? This is the value I have for myself. These are my belief system. These are the things that I hold into high esteem. They understand you. That is the way of challenging. Then you bring out what it means to be a person with disability. When you are able to do that, please explore avenues. Yes, explore new openings.
Okay.
Explore, challenge yourself now to go to the next level. And that is when people will hear that, oh, I just heard he has this type of condition or that whatever, but she's moving forward or he's moving forward. That person who is talking about you never expected you to move to the next level because they think that you will be crushed because of the fear of the unknown. They think that is the end of your journey. But that, if you are able to do that to yourself and explore, open up yourself to try new things. Make sure that you are not coiling. You are always thinking about, what do I do to project myself positively? Don't forget, if you are able to do all this, you accept, you acknowledge the issue, or you acknowledge the fear that you have a fear, you accept, you are able to build support system, you are able to embrace, you are able to challenge the system, and you are able to open up to new beginnings. You'll be the best person to break out the fear of the unknown. Because disability, as I say, it's part of humanity. The moment you start doing new things, people will see it differently. Like, oh, so it's not just because you are able, that's why you were able to do that. You became disabled, also you are able to still live that life.
Okay. Studying also, I realized that sometimes people get restricted with social issues like marriage, like relationship, because they feel that maybe they're not going to be treated well, people are going to take advantage of them, like you are saying. What about that area? How do people break away from that fear? Because, of course, anybody can get divorced at any time. Anybody can get separated from a relationship at any time. How well do you encourage persons with disability to?
That is a different topic altogether. That is a bigger topic in terms of marriage.
Because it's kind of have some kind of fear.
Yes, but I will encourage my people with disabilities that marriage is a very beautiful thing. Yes, marriage is very sweet. It's a very beautiful thing. If you have the opportunity to get married, get married. It's a place to grow yourself because you are going to learn about so many things from the other person, right? But marriage as an institution is something that it's a big topic that I would like us to discuss it differently because people really think that people with disabilities don't even have feelings. That's why. That's another myth.
Wow.
Yes, because I remember when I got pregnant, like when I tell people here that I got pregnant, I have twins, people will look at me like,
Really?
Are you kidding me? You have twins? And then I ask, hello? I have feelings. I am a human being. I have feelings. What prevents me of giving birth to twins, which is so interesting. And it just marvels them that you are able to give birth. That is a place that so many people are not, they can't fathom it. They can't understand.
Sure.
Especially, you know how, like, the meaning of twins, how twins are very important in our culture. And that is a place that when I'm talking about marriage, I always make sure that we break it down from the beginning. So I will encourage anybody who is interested to get married, because it's a blessed place, a very blissful place to belong to. Because in that journey, if you have a disability and you are still married, you can see that the support system that I'm talking about, some people, it is from their partners that they start from. When they have those type of people supporting them strongly behind the scene, they can move forward. And at times, that is how they build their families.
Exactly.
There is that fear for everyone, but it becomes double fear for people with disability. But I will encourage them to get married.
So relationship here is possible. Relationship at every angle is possible, and therefore don't shroud yourself in some sort of darkness and feel that you can't break away from where you are now and enter a beautiful relationship. You just have to do everything like every other person would do. Do your check-ins, check your red flags. You would want to be treated like any other person will be treated, and that should not put fear in anybody. And therefore, we need to break away from the fear of the unknown. Your last words, Dr. Sefakor.
My last words.
I want you to look into the camera and empower our people. You see, when you are receiving knowledge or information, being educated from somebody who has an experience, it kind of makes you feel good, because the support comes from somebody who is there and therefore would want to appreciate it very much. So I would want you to fully let our friends know that how will I be able to break away from the fear of the unknown? Is it possible?
Oh, yes, it is. And at this time, I want to talk to the younger Sefakor. The younger Sefakor who was able before became a disabled, right? And the one grounding that I hold on to up to now, which I'll say it's taking me to this far, is the spirituality part. Is the place that I hold on to. Is the place that when I go through pain, when I go through everything, that any agony that you can think about in this world, I still hold on to that fact.
Your mindfulness.
That place of peace that I found. And as I said, in this book, you could see how I was grounded, how I have been given my foundation is so grounded that I believe that I'm not useless. How my daddy thought that I became a cursed object, I became useless or unproductive, and he ran away. To me, how my mom turned it to be a positive thing and told me that you are a child of God. And that word alone, that God is manifesting in so many ways, whether you are black, brown, whatever, you are a gift of God. I'm special from God to her. I embrace that. I love myself. That is why when you tell me that I'm not beautiful, I say I'm so beautiful because my mom told me, right? And I'm still telling Sefakor that grounding that you have, that everything can be done because you have some power, some supernatural power, which is not seen, but it is operating behind the scene for you, which is the grounding I have. I'm still telling Sefakor that you can still hold on to that and do marvelous things. To the other person near me, is whatever you believe in. The reality of disability is one thing, is fighting or advocating for self and advocating for others, vouching for people and all those things is exhausting. It's really exhausting because you are fighting systems laid down for so many years, structures, frameworks, breaking down them. It is always exhausting. But when you are grounded and when you have support system, you build allies and you have people with you, community, those type of community, I think you will make it. I think you can get to the peak of it. You can get to the pinnacle of life and see how it is to be a person with disability and see that you have broken through the fear of the unknown and love yourself. So those are my last words for anybody listening to me. My next person sitting beside me is breakthrough, and breakthrough forcefully with some grounding. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sefakor, and thanks to all who joined us. Let's continue to build a future where everyone, regardless of our abilities, can thrive. And this is what Town Meeting TV, I always get it up. That is what Town Meeting TV seeks to do. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. We are putting ourselves together to fight our divisions. Let's all come together and do this. Thank you. I'm Salome. See you another time.